Apologies about the state of my home, but we need to talk about the Shrek situation. Nah, don't worry, Shrek hasn't gotten any accusations, but some might argue what's happening is even worse. DreamWorks redesigned him. And not just him, Donkey's been mutilated. Their daughter, Felicia, grew up. Who even is that? That is not my Felicia. I wouldn't be surprised if the two sons end up looking like this.
Ho ho ho.
And it's not just the general aesthetic change that I take personal issue with, but the animation style has been completely overhauled. And after 15 years of waiting, this takes center stage in the trailer.
Ew, Dad!
Woohoo, mama like.
Mama like? Mama like? It's been 15 years and we get mama like. 15 years. DreamWorks resculpted, poked and prodded where they had no right. And whilst I express my feelings on this matter, I'm going to chop onions in solidarity with the first 4 films. Because ogres are like onions. They have layers.
Ogres are like onions. They stink?
Once upon a time, there was just darkness. And then in 2001, there was Shrek. It was still dark for me because I wasn't born yet. But Shrek was released. When it came out, it was like the celebration scene in the Star Wars prequels. Best film of the century. It was good. And this movie was the worst movie ever and was a waste of $1 million. It actually cost $60 million. Shrek was the light in an overly saturated world of animation. It brought an element of satire and mocked other fairy tale based films through parody. And its art style, it's so charming. They made use of their limited 3D technology at the time and made a masterpiece. When the other studios were making this, DreamWorks did this. Just look at how the medieval townsfolk are represented.
Let's get it! Oh, hold on! Do you know what that thing can do to you? Yeah, it'll grind your bones for its bread.
That frame alone is funnier than the entirety of Boss Baby. Or even the main villain looking the way he looks. Only Shrek could do that. I do talk about this at length in my Shrek PowerPoint video linked in the description if you're interested. But the first Shrek film, what an absolute slam dunk. A massive slap in the face to the rest of Hollywood. Proving that you don't have to follow the trodden path, you just mock it instead.
You're a monster!
I'm not the monster here, you are! You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world.
Then just like that, you have a $4 billion franchise.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got this.
Hey, Magic Mirror, who's the fairest of them all?
Why, Shrek, of course.
Ew, Dad!
Woohoo, mama like.
Tell me why, DreamWorks, you're scrapping that mentality of individuality and you just follow in the herd. Why does it have to have the same treatment as every other animated film released today? Introducing more physically accurate lighting, smoother textures, and refined character features. At what cost? It's a bit dramatic. But at what cost, DreamWorks? What am I doing? What is this? Oh, like honestly, you should see this room. You should see this room. I'm in a basement chopping onions, complaining about the Shrek 5 trailer. Okay. At what cost, DreamWorks? They look more like trolls at this point, from Trolls. As if anyone was saying,
that's a solid 2 stars from me. Sublime comedy, sensational mise-en-scène, and a wonderful plot. But Shrek does not look realistic enough.
Realistic enough? He's an ogre. Ogres don't exist. Why would he need to be more realistic in a world where this happens?
No! Pixel blanket!
I don't think graphical realism is a priority. And speaking of realism, not only have they tried to incorporate more realistic textures, but they've aged everyone significantly. Maybe a little too much. At this rate, in Shrek 12, he'll probably end up looking like his original concept art. And others have compared it to looking like a mobile game or AI generated due to how processed and shiny they look. And I can see what they're saying. I can imagine playing Clash of Clans, then this pops up, and there's no way to get rid of it. And then it forces me to watch an advert like this.
Hey cool kids and all others. I am over the pleased to share with you Pocket Shrek. Play Shrek on the outdoors with family and friends. Go to check out Play Store, download to get your hands on it.
And don't get me wrong, I really... my eyes. Don't get me wrong, I really do love and appreciate what DreamWorks have been doing recently ever since they developed Moonray, their own 3D renderer that has been used in films such as the recent How to Train Your Dragon. It looks great. It's also been used in Boss Baby Family Business.
What have you done to me?
It looks great as well. Kung Fu Panda 4.
Skadoosh.
I haven't really seen them, so I can't comment. And of course, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Which are all phenomenal looking films, but Puss in Boots specifically, the comic book art direction made it look so unique and standalone from Shrek.
Hear from me.
Which I truly respect. Instead of just forcing the film to look as realistic as possible, because that's the standard practice these days, they did their own thing, and it really paid off, despite it still being part of the Shrekverse. But what we're seeing with the Shrek 5 trailer, instead of keeping that art style and animation charm of the previous Shrek films, they just coated it with the same stuff as the rest of their new films, just because they could. And they've just made more extra work for themselves. His new set of eyebrows probably took 9 months to render, and to do this amount of polishing and smoothification to a film with such a cult following as a result of its unique art style is why everyone takes so much issue with this. Has Fiona had work done? She looks slimmer. I did not notice that. Can you be parasocial when it's a CGI ogre? I don't know. And dear God, Donkey, Nightmare Fuel looks around 80-year-old. And why just one kid? Will we see the rest of the kids? And what about Donkey's flying donkey dragons? Wolfie here has their priorities in order. Paul says, why fix what ain't broke? Yeah, ain't that the truth? Look how they massacred my boy. Yeah, Skylar, I'm right there with you. Cool, he looks disgraceful. Instead of sympathizing with the studio, pressure needs to be applied to not allow this ridiculous animation change. If animation has really improved so much, then there should be no problem making it look like a more modernized version of the original. At the very least, the same as Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Shrek has a massive following, and this is a major insult. Fix this, DreamWorks. The DreamWorks executives would probably take one look at the Mona Lisa and say,
Yeah, but it could look a little more with the times.
with some perspective, this outrage is actually quite funny. Sometimes we have to remember what exactly we're crying over.
Woohoo, mommy like.
With countless news articles all saying the exact same thing. Like Men's Journal over here. Fans are losing their mind! And although this is essentially what news sources are supposed to do, it's just a whole bunch of fence sitting. According to some corners of the internet, the answer is a big yikes. And then they also say, the film has been a long time coming and will likely perform okay at the box office, even if some fans aren't happy with the way it looks. In either case, we've still got a long wait to find out just how great, horrible, or okay the new Shrek is. Great, horrible, or okay. Now that is journalism. It might be great, it might be horrible, or it might just be okay. I don't know, why are you asking me? Because you wrote an entire article on it. This is the reason I'm here. Stop fence sitting. If you don't get out of my house, this is gonna end really badly for you. Or really well. Or just fine. You're doing it again. Oh yeah, sorry. Anyway, nice work, Men's Journal. The best place for news on gear, health and fitness, grooming, and food and drink. And of course, Shrek.
Oh, yeah.
Because Shrek is a dude's film. Yeah. Up until Fiona joined the picture and made him a softie, am I right? Yeah. I really hope they have some articles on how to make an eyeball teeny in the food and drink section. Or like, how to turn a woman into an ogre. My ideal woman is Fiona from Shrek. And look, on the surface, the animators did a really good job. In fact, I feel bad for them, with people like me analysing each frame and crying over why Felicia's hair isn't Shrek enough. I think Felicia should be bald. I asked AI to show me how that might look, and it came up with this. Yeah, I think I'll just leave this to the DreamWorks animation team. Or querying where Fergus and Farkle are. Because really, looking at it, everything looks really crisp, refined, and realistic. But are those any of the words that you would use to describe Shrek? No! Shrek is, and always has been in a way, imperfect. And that's why we love it. The derpy villagers, the ominous vast landscapes, the awkward looking movements of the characters. I steal from the rich and give to the needy.
But I'm not greedy.
It's all so beautiful. And not to say Shrek has never seen small graphical improvements similar to this. Between each film there were noticeable changes which made it look more rich. But they never did anything drastic like we're seeing now to take away from that Shrek charm. And this isn't the first time that we've seen mega pushback like this. You know Sonic the Hedgehog, the 2D blue gentleman? Remember when they turned him into this? Yeah. This received so much hate and criticism that they had to go back into production, which cost them $5 million to fix, with the end result looking like this. Aww. He went from boy from Jumanji, a man in a blue suit, to this. So it does show that change can be made when enough people band together. No, not to stop actual world problems, but to make sure Sonic doesn't have individual teeth. Because that's what's really important. But in Sonic's case, that was forgivable, as it was the first film in the series. Meanwhile, Shrek has been Shrekking since 2001. We already have the blueprint for Shrek. Don't reinvent the Shrek. Now, I've been holding this off, but we gotta talk about this.
Why, Shrek, of course.
Ew!
Remember when Hillary Clinton said this?
I don't know who created Pokemon Go.
No. Wait.
But I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Remember when Ninja did this?
Imagine if Ninja got a low table fade.
You know what's crazy is that low taper fade meme is, dude, it is still massive.
There is something so completely unsatisfyingly horrible when someone badly embraces a meme. It's like unearthing an ancient cursed tomb that was supposed to be left untouched. Memes are synonymous with Shrek. You wonder why the franchise has stayed relevant this whole time after 15 years? It's because of stuff like this.
Quick second.
Gabby has to be 43.2.
It's the reason why Smash Mouth is still thriving. But the moment you put an actual meme in the Shrekverse, the moment Shrek becomes self-aware.
Who's making this stuff?
The moment Fiona does a mama like, the legacy crumbles. The meme loses its power. People don't know this, but that's actually why Hillary Clinton lost. And sure, Shrek has always played into pop culture with references to other fairy tales, real-world brands and music, even a dating show parody on the magic mirror itself.
To meet today's eligible bachelorettes.
Pick up a dream, my lord.
Oh, okay. Number 3. Princess Fiona.
But this, well, this has gone too far. This has gone too far. We need the animators at DreamWorks to be supervised. We need to put parental controls on that magic mirror. Really, you have to be like Cillian Murphy and not even know what a meme is.
Are you aware of the disappointed Cillian Murphy meme on the internet?
The what?
The disappointed Cillian Murphy meme.
It's a meme.
A better alternative would have been like an actual paper scroll. And the act of scrolling through memes, someone is actually scrolling through the paper. Now that's funny. But then again, this is literally a 20-second announcement trailer. I highly doubt the entire Shrek 5 plot will be based around TikTok. What would that even look like? I don't know, Felicia becomes really big on Magic Mirror Talk and she moves to the land of far, far away, but everyone hates her because she's green. But then everyone accepts her and she lives happily ever after. The end. You know, all this Shrek redesign stuff just reminds me of when they were initially designing his look. Back when Chris Farley was a voice actor for Shrek.
Give me your loot, fat boy. Bite me.
That would be a very interesting timeline to live in. Not Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Shrek is death, Shrek is decay. And then it was a whole thing, they had to recast Fiona. They then got Mike Myers to do a bunch of different accents for Shrek. And in the end, he had to redo every single line in a Scottish accent, which cost the studio millions of dollars because they had to reanimate entire sections. If I was one of those animators, I would never want to hear the Scottish accent ever again. A bit weird though that they chose a Scottish accent to represent a big green smelly ogre. Just think about that one, right? Just think about it. But still, that does give me hope that with a bit of nudging, maybe we will see a Shrek that the people deserve. Come on animators, I know you're overworked and underpaid, but you have some work to do. Chop chop. And whilst you're at it, make Felicia look less like a Zoomer. It's freaking me out. As you can tell, my feelings are complicated. Shrek is my beloved, and I am so excited for the next film in the series. But you listen here, DreamWorks. Tread carefully. If you make his dome any pointier, or his skin any shinier, or his teeth any more teethy, I'll probably just keep on chopping onions.